When we take clients through Pareto coaching, one of the first things that we have a team do, which is my favorite exercise, and it's actually, as far as I'm concerned, probably one of the hardest, is we have them do ideal life. And what that ideal life program is, as you know, is it's about getting advisors to think about why, right? Okay, you want to go through this program, you want to process orient your practice, you want to grow at a higher pace, you have all these goals that you want to hit. The question is why? I shared a story before where I was coaching a team and they were doing about 2.5 million in production. And on the back, I just happened to see on the Zoom call that their goal was to do 3 million that year. And I asked them, I said, "So 3 million, is that your goal?" They said, "Yeah." I said, "Why?" And they're like, "Well, it's $500,000 more." And I go, "Okay, congratulations." I'm like, I could do the math, but that's not what I'm asking. I said, "Why?" And they started to laugh a little bit. And they're like, "Well, what do you mean?" And I'm like, "This isn't an overly complicated question. What I'm asking you is what does that $500,000 mean? And why that number? Why not just 1 million? Why not 2 billion? What does that number mean to you?" And that's what ideal life is. It's breaking down that. What is this actually going to mean to me, as opposed to being on a whiteboard? How is that going to impact my life? How is that going to impact my quality, my family, this and that? You have to take that same approach of answering the why when it comes to moving. So for instance, I'll give a couple examples. Someone might say, you know what, I want a higher payout. We'll go with the easiest one, payout. I want a higher payout. Okay, congratulations. So you're going to increase your pay 25, 30, 40, 50%, depending on which way you go. Why is that important? Well, I'm going to make more money. Okay. Well, how would you relay that? How do you think that can benefit your clients? And when you start thinking about all these running from as opposed to a running to, well, all of a sudden you start thinking, well, that would allow me to invest more in my practice. Well, who would that benefit? Will that benefit my clients, right? Things like, I'm running from a place where compliance is really hard and doesn't allow me to do the things that I want to do. So I don't want to deal with that anymore. I'm running from a lower payout. I'm running from management that I don't like. I'm running from a strategic vision at a firm that doesn't align with me. I'm running from a lack of support. I'm running from this. Well, all of those are negative items, and I am not going to discount that. Those are all legitimate reasons why you should run from something. But imagine telling that to your clients, well, all these negative reasons why I'm leaving. Let's look at what you're running to. And when you look at what the flip side is, if you look at what the other side of that look like, it's a much brighter picture. When you run from things, it's dark. When you're running to something, it's light. And when you start from an advisor standpoint, start thinking about, get rid of the negative thoughts, get rid of the things you're running from and go, okay, I make that move and I solve for that. But what does that actually mean now in my price? How does that look? All of a sudden your perspective begins to change. And now you're not walking to something. That's why I say you're running to it. You are running to get there. So change perspective. Stop focusing on what you're running from. It's a problem, but what are you running to?